School's all back now, I'm sure. Everybody, are they going back next week?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay.
Yeah. I think public school started a week or two ago, but college starts tomorrow.
So yeah, you noticed a lot more traffic on campus this weekend, huh?
Yeah, I went into Trader Joe's today and walked right back out.
Yeah.
The lines were all the way to the back of the store.
Oh, everybody's buying stuff. Yeah, getting into town and buying stuff. Yeah. And
surprisingly, Publix wasn't that bad, but
really,
so I just went to Publix.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, it is the end of summer. I mean, school started here a couple weeks ago, and I figured all the universities are going to be going back. Yeah, mid to end of August. So kind of hard to believe we're zipping through 2017. That's for sure. So cool. Oh, yeah, this is show number 204 of this mess that we call the photo sharing discussion. So August 20th. Wow, 2017. So welcome everybody. Wes, as usual, thank you for showing up. Looks like you had your little road trip last week, so I'm interested to learn more about that, because that's like I was saying before, that's a part of the state I didn't even know existed. So it looks like it'd be a fun place to go. Maybe in the fall or the spring. I think that would be a neat place.
Yeah, I was going to suggest it's about an hour from Albany.
Okay.
So if you go to the Indian Festival in the spring, that's in Albany, you might want to plan on doing that like the Sunday or something.
Okay. Yeah, maybe kind of like just a 2-in-1 trip.
Yeah, stay overnight in Albany and then just because that's kind of on your way back. You can kind of loop over to the.
Yeah. Yep. No, that's a good idea. No, I have to think, because the Indian Festival is what? Is that like in April or something?
Yeah, it's like what is it? Labor Day? What's the
Memorial Day?
Spring Memorial Day. No, not Memorial Day. It's before that. It's in April, I think.
Okay. All right. Around Easter? I mean, but Easter moves depending on the year.
It's even before Easter. It's like a week or so before Easter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe like end of March, first part of April, even. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to take a look at that. Yeah, that might be a fun. Weekend. Maybe go down on like a Thursday. When does the festival start? Like on is it a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing?
Yeah, I think they do have like Friday for they have a lot of school kids and stuff that go.
Okay. All right.
But it's mainly Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, that might be fun to do, like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You go down to that park on a Friday, do the festival on a Saturday, and come back on a Sunday, and still have time to decompress and get ready to go back to work on Monday. Cool. Hey, Joe, how's it going?
Hey, brother.
Good. What is it? What's the temperature though? Is it over 100 today? I'm sure.
Yeah, it's right at 100 right now.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so relatively cool for August.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah. Good. Well, welcome. Yeah, we're almost through August here. It's kind of hard to believe. We're actually having good weather today, so I'm keeping fingers crossed that the weather holds off for tomorrow afternoon. That's my, I hope we have good weather for the eclipse tomorrow. That's what I'm hoping. So I'll talk a little bit about that. I had an interesting class. The studio I belonged to had a little session on photographing, talking about the eclipse and photographing the eclipse and that type of stuff. So
it's tomorrow already.
Yeah, it is. Yep, Monday. Oh, okay. So we're getting up at the crack of ugly tomorrow, and gonna head up there early morning, and just plan on hopefully getting a good, relatively close in spot. And we've got our tickets to the, the viewing festival or whatever. So hopefully we can get up there and get relatively close in parking, and that the weather cooperates, and get some good images, and have a good eclipse. I'm looking forward to it. So, we got Wes is in stereo here. There we go.
Yeah.
Back. So, yeah, so it's cool. So, we got the eclipse coming up, which is, like I was saying last week, I think that's going to be a great upgrade opportunity for people, because they're going to blow out the sensors on their cameras by trying to photograph it. It's going to be very interesting, and that was interesting. One of the things we were talking about was there's about 12 of us there, varying levels of involvement in photography, but all generally enthusiastic amateurs at least. And everybody's like, yeah, we haven't heard anything from any of the camera or phone manufacturers about safe photography. And I'm like, of course not. They don't want to. They want everybody to go and photograph the eclipse and burn out their sensors and
Exactly.
call the next day and need a new one.
Yeah. Why would they try to help you out on that deal there?
Yeah. And I know it. I know it's gonna happen. People just aren't gonna think about it. Hopefully, people got the news that you got to have actual like real eclipse glasses on to actually look at it, with your eyes. But people aren't going to think about the digital sensor. So it's going to be there's going to be a lot of dead iPhones, I think.
Yeah, they're definitely not thinking about it, and
no.
People
are going to put their glasses on, and they're going to see this, then it'll be fine, and then they're going to hold the phone up. Oh, there it is! Look, I'm videoing it.
I got it.
Yeah, you got it. It's done. Yeah. Just literally fry the sensor in the camera. So, Well, one thing I am going to do tomorrow is, everybody I can say around, I'm going to remind them. I said, you don't hold that thing up to the sun without a filter on it, because you very high probability that your phone or camera will not work after that.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see. Hope the weather cooperates and we get some images. But I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. Did you do any no shoots or anything this week, right? You didn't do anything?
No, I didn't. I did absolutely nothing.
Okay, me too.
Yeah, just my usual
sunset, sunrise stuff.
Yeah, just that if it wasn't for that at this point.
And you're still doing photography.
Yeah.
You're doing your sunrise, and that's. But yeah, that's. Did you say you're going to start doing some more shooting in the fall? You think you do some more model shoots in the fall?
I could be. Boy, all of a sudden I got the yawns. I could be, shooting right now. I just haven't been because of just trying to save money, really.
Yeah.
So
that's a good reason.
We'll see. I might start trying to collab with some models that are more local and need exposure. We'll see. I'm not in a huge hurry.
It's a way to kind of get back into it, maybe without having as much of a financial commitment to do it. You can kind of help each other out on that. Yeah. Oh, cool. How about you, Wes? Other than your trip last week, do we have any new camera equipment to report? Anything?
No, not this week.
Okay. No visits from eBay or anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what did you take on? You just took the one camera, right? If I remember, right?
Yeah,
you
I
just took your 300.
The 80D and 3 lenses. I took the 10-18, the 17-50, and the 70-300.
Okay, yeah, and you got I like a couple of shots you took with that 10-18. That was the wide angle stuff. Interesting.
Yeah, that's a fun lens when you can get into a place.
Oh yeah, something like that with the canyons and looking up, and that's interesting. That's fun stuff. So, yeah. Well, this is the big thing is the eclipse coming up here tomorrow, and I'll tell you, I'll go on and start talking about it because there's a fair amount of images. But I went to the photography studio I belong to at a class on photographing the eclipse, and so a guy did a little presentation on what the eclipse is, how relatively few true total eclipses there are, and then all about all the crazy people that pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to go anywhere in the world wherever the total eclipses are to photograph them and observe them and everything. But we had about 12 people there or whatever, and almost everybody was pretty much going to be using digital camera. And I went in to the class thinking I'm still going to do my large format camera, but after seeing and doing some digital stuff and talking about it, I've pretty much made a decision. I'm just taking the mirrorless camera. I'm not going to take the large format for a couple of reasons. One, I don't have a long enough lens on the on the 4x5. So it's essentially only equivalent to a 40 millimeter. And I posted a couple images to the group, and I can talk about that. But the sun would be so small with that it would be,
Yeah,
you really wouldn't be able to see anything.
that is true. Yeah.
And the other thing is, it seems like it's going to be really crowded and maybe hectic. And I don't want to miss actually seeing when it's totality, when it's there. I don't want to miss that because I'm just trying to get a photograph with my film camera. So, and the fact that all I have is 100 speed film. So it would be impractical to try to get anything other than, I couldn't do anything totality, but I think more just a lens size and in that I'm just going to use the digital camera for that. Just because of the long lens. And the image I posted in the group was, I used I have a 15, what is it? Is it the Tamron? I forget which one it is. It's a Tamron 15 to 150. So it's the equivalent of like a 30 to 300. And even at that, what is it? 50. Yeah, it's 14 to 150. It's the Olympus. Yeah, I guess it's the Olympus lens. Yeah. But even at full telephoto, it's a 300 millimeter equivalent. The sun is not that big. You still have to crop it to really get an image that image that fills the screen a little bit. So it would have just been completely, I think, impractical, other than to maybe just take a landscape with the sun up in the corner, which you wouldn't be able to tell whether it was an eclipse or a partial eclipse or anything of it. So I decided to go all digital. I know you're sad to hear that, Dennis.
Well, that's what digital cameras are for, Mark.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. So, but
yeah, the last time I shot, I got lucky because I ran into that same problem. While I was shooting, that's when I realized that I didn't have a long enough lens. And there was a guy there with one of those gigantic white lenses, and he let me, essentially like borrow it for like a few seconds, and that's the shots that I have. The shots that I got.
Yeah, and it's and the other thing that is the advantage of the mirrorless is the live view feature. So it adds an extra measure of safety. So I'm not frying out your eyes, because you have to use a filter for, you should use a filter even for film, just because it'll get the sun down to a manageable level so it doesn't completely blow out. But the problem is that filter goes away and you're looking at the view screen or through the glass. You're looking right through the lens. If the filter falls off on the 4x5 and I'm trying to compose the image, I could literally go blind. So I don't want to do that. But yeah, I know. I have to sacrifice for your art, is what people say. Tell me all the time. You have to be willing to sacrifice. But I figure with the live view, worst case is I'm not really looking directly through it. It's going through the LCD. So it's not going to blind me. And worst case is the camera gets fried, but my eyes don't. But I don't expect that to happen. But I used there were like about 12 people there. Everybody's going to use digital, and the big thing that people were wondering about is what kind of filter to use. And there's a film. I think it's called Bader film or Bader film. It's essentially like a luminized Mylar. And I bought a sheet of that like 15 years ago, and I was into astronomy, and I made a template basically to go over the telescope. So I just took a sheet of this film, put it in some cardboard and did it. So I'm just going to literally, it's going to be, like that. I can literally just hang it right on the front of the camera. On the tripod.
I held it in front of the. Yep. I held it in front of it.
Yeah, you can do that as well. But with the hood on, I can hang it on here, and there's no, you're not seeing none of the, the frame or anything is getting into the image. So I can literally just hang it right on there, and it should. I mean, it works fine. I did a couple test shots with it, but some people hadn't thought about that, and they don't have the right film.
Yeah.
And one of the guys was like, "Yeah, I was looking around today, and I found one guy that was selling it for like $188 for it comes in a sheet like a square foot, so like 1 foot by 1 foot, and then you can cut it down and mount it." And he says normally it's like $15, but this guy he had a few left, and he was selling them for almost $200 a sheet for the
Wow.
for the filter.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, it's.
It was like a couple of bucks when I bought it.
Yeah. Back then, I mean, when it's not in demand, yeah, I mean, normal price is not too bad. I mean, when I got this sheet, I bought a sheet of this. Maybe it was like 2002, and I think I paid maybe $10 for the sheet shipped. It came from Germany. It was like 10 or $12 for the sheet shipped. But so some people don't have filters for the camera, and a guy's like, whatever you do not point a camera at the full sun without a filter, because
guy killed it.
Yeah, he's like, if you don't have a filter, if you have glasses, solar viewing glasses, just enjoy the eclipse. Don't try to photograph it without a filter, because you will fry the sensor of the camera. So a couple people are like, "Oh, bummer."
Yeah, ruin all the fun.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah. But so I think that's going to be a huge thing. A lot of people are going to fry their cameras, but I figured out, I think, a pretty good method of doing it. Pretty much just hang this on the lens and photograph, and I've got a cable release for the camera, so I can set it up. I've set it on manual focus, because automatic focus doesn't know what to do with the sun being as bright as it is, even through the filter. It's not going to work. So I set it on manual focus. Now the trick is with this lens is it's got a focus ring, but there's no marking, so you don't know where true infinity is. It just spins around. So I had to set up the camera, and I photographed the sun. That's how the images that I shared on the group, and then I had to focus it to what infinity was, and then I marked it. So now I know where it is. So when I extend it, then I can line up the tape with the mark on the lens. Then I know that's infinity. So I had to do a little bit of work ahead of time to figure out what infinity was, basically, on the manual focus of the lens. So I got to do manual focus. It's going to be, lowest ISO on this camera is 200, basically. So it'll end up being somewhere around 250 to 300, assuming it's decently clear. And then just use spot metering for the sun, and just spot meter the center image, the sun, and should be somewhere around 250 to 500th of a second at f8 on this camera. So I think I've got the exposure down, and we use a cable release, so I should be able to have it set up on the tripod, and I'd just be able to move the tripod and track the sun as it moves across the sky with the moon shadow. So we'll see what kind of images we get. And then as far as totality, when the moon is or the sun is completely hidden by the moon's shadow, I don't even think I'm going to try to photograph it, because it's going to be essentially dark. Totality is like 2 minutes, and I just don't want to be fiddling around with the trying to get a decent shot and miss actually just like sitting there and watching that happen. So I'm gonna sacrifice that, but I should be able to get some good shots of the progression of the eclipse as the moon's shadow marches across the sun all the way across. So
yeah, if you could like stack those or something, that'd be even cool. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll have to see. I mean, I don't know how many shots I'll take, but it'll be probably, I don't know. I'll just have to set it up and see. But yeah, once I get them all lined up, then I'll be able to line them up, and I could stack them. I guess I could stack them. Yeah, I could just do stack them in Lightroom.
As long as you don't move the tripod, should.
Well, yeah. I mean, the tripod won't move, but the head is going to have to move to track the to track the sun. That's going to be because over time, you know, the sun is going to be moving across the sky, and the shadow, the moon shadow, is going to be moving across as well. So I'm always going to have to be moving the tripod to adjust for that, because I guess the whole eclipse event is like 3 hours. So it's like 3 hours from when the moon shadow first touches the sun on one side to it goes all the way over, covers the sun completely, and then goes all the way on the other side. So that whole period from like first contact, they call first contact, the last contact, is like 3 hours and 5 minutes or something, with about 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes in the middle when it's completely covered. So it's a fairly long process. So I don't know. We'll just see how many images I get, and there'll be some that'll be better than others, I'm sure, but should be interesting to do that. But yeah, it's going to be looking forward to it. Hopefully the weather cooperates. If not, then I'll just take a drive up to the mountains and eat a fried turkey leg and listen to some bluegrass music. I think that's all they.
It's always good.
Yeah. So you guys should be able. Do you have any eclipse glasses at all, Wes? Do they have any? Are they handed anything out?
No, we didn't buy any when they were available, and they're sold out everywhere right now.
Yeah, that seems to be the
trying to gouge people for them, but yeah, they're not really available.
Yeah, somebody says, I found them, but they said they can deliver them on the 23rd. I'm like, well, that doesn't really.
Right.
Yeah, I've got a pair you can have, but I want $200 for them.
Yeah. No, I guess people were, and they're still, price gouging like $100. I mean, it was just crazy amounts of money. Yeah, and then Amazon had an issue where a bunch of them that they sold were not certified. They weren't ISO certified. They were knockoffs. So they had to refund money and return all those. So if you didn't get the glasses, a week ago or so or before, you're probably not going to be able to get them. And all the stores around town, all the stores ordered around here, because we get a pretty good. It's still like 95% if you just stood out in downtown Atlanta and looked up. So every store had it. All the Lowe's, Home Depots, hardware stores, Publix, CVS, all the stores had it, but they're all out. So now people are, since they can't do that, then they're going to all the industrial and construction stores to try to find all the welders' goggles they can find. And they're getting sold out too. So
yeah, all your what's that? Harbor Freight and all that.
Yeah. Harbor Freight, Grainger, all those construction supply and industrial supply stores are out as well. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how many people they said they figured in the U.S. there might be 100 million, something like 50 to 100 million people that will actually view the eclipse at some point or another. So it's a lot of.
What do they call viewing the eclipse too? I mean, if you happen to be outside, you viewed it. I mean, is that?
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm assuming I would think it would be put the glasses on and actually do that, but who knows? Yeah.
Mark, can you not project the sun and the eclipse onto a piece of card and record?
You could do that. You could do almost like a pinhole camera. Yeah,
so that you can record it safely.
Yeah, you could do it that way, but then you're just going to get you get the projection, and I guess some people will be doing that if they don't have a filter for the camera, and then all those people that couldn't get eclipse glasses are going to have to just do the pinhole box. I was talking to my father, and he says, I couldn't get any glasses. He says, and now I'm looking for a box and make a pinhole, pinhole viewer or whatever. But yeah, I guess one of the cool things that happens. And there's all kinds of funky effects that happen as the sun gets that last little bit behind, as the shadow covers the sun completely. You get like starburst patterns and stuff as the last little bits of sunlight like go through the canyons on the moon or something. So you get these little like starburst patterns, and then you get all kinds of weird funky shadows on the ground as a result of that. So one of the guys in the group was going to he was taking two cameras. One he was going to photograph, and he had an equatorial mount, so it tracks the motion of the sun. So it's automatic. So once he sets it up and gets it aligned, it would track. So he doesn't have to readjust it. And then the other camera he was going to use to photograph shadows on the ground. I'm like, okay, going kind of crazy. But yeah, there's all kinds of like weird shadow things, and if the horizon is clear, I guess when it's totally eclipsed, the whole horizon, 360 degrees, is like a sunset. So instead of just in the west or the east, it's all the way around, because at that particular spot where you're viewing the sun being completely blocked by the moon, outside of that shadow, whatever it is, 70, 80 miles away, you see, the like twilight, like sunrise or sunset colors. So all kinds of weird stuff. So hopefully we don't have too much cloud cover. It looks like it's gonna be partly cloudy, kind of in and out type of clouds. So we'll just have to, we'll have to see. But
if it's cloudy, Mark, how many years you got to wait to go back there and do it again?
Well,
actually,
not too many. There's another
2024.
Yep, 2024. And the eclipse path that time comes up from Mexico, goes through Texas, and then kind of arches up over through like Kentucky and Tennessee, and then kind of goes up over like the Northeast. So I got to wait like 7 years.
They just happen. So to me, like I said, it just feels like they happen all the time.
Well, there's lots of solar eclipses, but I guess there's not very many where it's a total, where everything is completely blocked out, and that's the tricky one. At least in the U.S. I mean, they happen all over, almost every year in different parts of the world, in different sections. But the problem is, how do you get to them, and can you view them, and how do you get to them to see them? And I guess there's this group of people that, they try to go to as many as possible. And it was a few years ago or something where there was going to be one over Antarctica. And it was the first one that was going to be over Antarctica. So this group of like 20 people rented a Russian trawler to go down to that spot in the ocean and sit there and watch the total eclipse. And it cost them like $100,000 each to do that. So,
yeah,
pretty hardcore eclipse. Not quite the same as being on that cruise ship, huh, Dennis?
No. All the cruise ships are sitting there drinking their champagne, watching it. Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of that this year, because it literally goes across, off the coast of South Carolina and then out. It starts to fade away as it gets off land, but there's going to be a pretty good opportunity for all those cruise ships to be along the path too. So it's going to be kind of interesting. I'm interested to see all the photographs from people that have the right equipment to do it. There's going to be some amazing stuff, I'm sure. Yeah. People that have literally tens of thousands of dollars in equipment dedicated to photographing eclipses and other astronomical type of stuff. So should be kind of interesting. So that's what's coming up this week. Wes was in the southwestern, I guess that park is in the southwestern part of Georgia too, huh? So it's kind of southwestern Georgia, southwestern feel for the canyon. And somebody posted a couple images. And Dennis, you had your buddy's motorcycle come down, which was pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I did some shots there. So you managed to get through that whole. Did you shoot a whole roll of film on the Bronica and then develop it?
No, I took half a dozen on the Bronica just to use a roll up. So,
okay. Then were you able to get it developed locally pretty quick?
No, I've done it myself.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. I use Raleigh chemicals this time.
Oh, okay.
C41. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Tim gave me a roll of cheap color film.
Okay.
35 mil.
All right.
That's been sitting on the shelf waiting to be developed.
Okay.
I developed it in this C41, and the colors are just all over the place.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I thought, well, maybe the chemicals have gone off. They was a brand new pack. I just hadn't opened them.
Okay.
So I made the chemicals up. So I had 2 rolls to do.
Okay.
But the Ektar came out fine.
Yeah, it looks like it came out really, really good.
So it looks like that Tim's pound of roll color film. It's not worth it.
How old was the film? Do you know?
Yeah, I don't know how long he'd had it, but he gave it to me to use up, like a 24.
Okay.
But, there was nothing on there At first, I thought, did I develop E6 in C41? It looked like it was cross-processed.
Okay, yeah. But so it sounds like maybe that roll of film had lived a rough life. It probably was not.
Yeah. The good thing is he's got a couple of rolls to do, so it'd be interesting to see.
Okay. So now that you mixed up the chemicals, how long will? Well, I guess the last one you had lasted a lot longer than you thought it would, right?
Yeah. The Tetnol does three times more films than it said on the box.
Oh wow!
And they were still fine. It wasn't until like they were nearly a year old that they just crapped out.
Okay. All right. So you've got a reasonable time. And did you get some new bottles? Did you get that wine opener or something that sucks all the air out of the bottles?
The corks, but I haven't got the glass. They didn't have the amber bottles in stock.
Okay.
So they're going to send me a notice when they come in, but I don't know if I live long enough. It seems to be months. Yeah. I'll probably look for another source.
Okay. But even without that, you keep the chemicals in nice, dark, relatively cool place, so they should last. Well, they should last quite a while, I would think.
Yeah, they do last a lot longer than it says on the packet.
Okay.
I suppose they do that to cover themselves.
Yeah. That way they just know that if they put that date on it, it's going to work. Yeah.
Yeah. If you stick the stuff in the bottles and extract the air out, then they're supposed to last up to a year.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, which is good, and E6 as well. They can get E6 the last 12 months.
Yeah, well, it just shows how bad oxygen is to chemicals. It's bad to beer, it's bad to wine, it's bad to film chemicals. There we go.
Bad beer.
It's the same problem again. It's the Blix, because they're mixing the bleach with the fixer.
Mm-hmm.
That's unstable, and I think all the chemicals they put in it to make it last just can't do it.
They have to put a lot in to make it last, but it still doesn't last very long.
Yeah, so I think I may invest in an E6 6-bath kit.
Okay.
They reckon that just lasts so much longer because it's a separate bleach and thing.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting. I'll probably buy one just to do it, say I've done it, So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it sounds like that's the weak point is the Blix. The other stuff, if you take care of it and store it properly, you get a pretty good shelf life out of it.
Yeah, the 6-bath E6, apparently you get much more vibrant colours.
Okay.
And the archival properties are far superior than the 3-bath.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. I would think, yeah.
Well, you
cost-wise.
Send your slides to the shop. It's always six chemical bath it goes in.
Okay. Now, what's the cost differential? Is it going to be is it that much more expensive to buy 6 versus the 3, or not?
No, there's an Italian company doing it, and they it's shipped in from Italy.
Okay.
And I think it's only available in the European Union.
Okay. All right.
I don't think they're allowed to ship it outside. So probably the dodgy chemicals.
Yeah. Okay. They don't want the container ship blowing up halfway across the Atlantic. Yeah.
So I've got to try it. I've got to try it just to say I've done it.
Oh, yeah. That sounds interesting. That sounds like maybe a way to get a better quality processing and longer lasting too. Which
I think the 50 sheets of 4x5 I've got in colour. It will warrant buying the E6 6-bath kit and trying it.
Oh yeah, I would. Yeah, if you've got that many sheets, might as well expose them and then run them all through within a relatively short time. And get the benefit of it. Yeah, that's cool.
Well, so your club you belong to, the darkroom. Do they do E6? Do they?
Yes. You've got to. I don't think they maintain the chemicals all the time, but it's just a matter of if they've got a number of people that want to do E6, they'll just order the chemicals in, and get a bunch of people together and saying, hey, we're ordering E6, we're going to do a development party or whatever, and everybody bring their stuff.
So you've got to put it on your list just to say you've done it. Yeah. Yeah. I developed this E6.
Yeah. No, it was interesting because one of the people that was at the Eclipse class this week is a guy that teaches the darkroom class, which I haven't been able to attend just because of scheduling and that type of stuff. And I was like, hey, when can I like follow you in. He's like, yeah, just let me know in the fall. You know, as we get into the fall, let me know and we'll schedule some time and you can come in and I can kind of walk you through, you know, the process in the darkroom. So I should be able to hopefully, you know, do something here probably in maybe October, November, it looks like. So.
Can I ask you, Mark, when you take your digital pictures, what size are the JPEGs?
When I take digital, when I like actual digital from like the Olympus camera?
Yeah.
Because
that's 16 megapixel camera, yeah?
I think it is a 16. I think the JPEGs are 8 meg, something like that.
Right out of the camera? Right out of the...
yeah, because I have the camera set to shoot RAW plus superfine JPEG. So it does, you know, one of each. And I think the JPEGs, well, let me find out. I'll open up Lightroom and tell you because I just loaded some stuff up. But I want to say it's around 8 megs. Are yours much bigger or not?
They're huge. I put 4 of my friend's Harley.
Okay.
I took RAW and then I saved them as 100% JPEGs, but they came out 31 meg.
Wow.
Yeah, I know it's a full frame camera, but that seemed
for a JPEG.
Yeah.
Good lord.
Oh, that's out of your Sony?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a 24 megapixel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right.
For a JPEG? Wow.
Yeah, because I
For uncompressed, yeah.
I done a TIFF and it was like 50 meg.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think the JPEGs for my Canon are it's a 24 megapixel and they're up around, it's a 24 megapixel as well, and they're up around 28.
Wow.
Or so as JPEGs, yeah.
The problem I had was I can't get a photograph in the darkroom, so I took them to the shop, plugged the pen into the machine, and it wouldn't read any of the files. It says it's too big, you know, they wouldn't do over 25 meg.
Oh.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Where am I looking here?
But I haven't taken any JPEGs with my new Canon.
Yeah, I didn't bother, Joe, because basically you only need a JPEG to print a photograph, really, because you couldn't print a TIFF, could you? It's probably 300 big behind it.
Most cameras you can do in-camera JPEG processing, so you really don't need to even shoot it.
Let me take a look here. So, all right. So the JPEG, this is from the Olympus. So that's a 16 megapixel. So I shoot in the RAW file, the ORF or whatever they call it, is 13 meg. Okay.
13, yeah.
The JPEG is 4.8 or 5 meg, and I'm shooting, that's super fine large. So it's not, I think it is the biggest or second biggest JPEG. And then obviously the RAW file is whatever it is.
Yeah, that's true. There's different size
it depends how much
JPEGs
compression there is. Yeah. But this is a 46 by 30, 4608 by 3456.
I know there's a large. Well, you know, now that you're on the subject, I mean, I know there's a large argument now happening for people that are just shooting JPEGs. You know, now because there's so much information now in the darn JPEGs. The files are so big, apparently. So some people are just shooting JPEGs. There's
You know, normally I don't do a JPEG, Joe, because it's lossy. Every time you shut it down, it's losing some of your detail.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why it's such a crap storage system. You need to save it as a TIFF or a PNG.
Yeah, but no, you're right. You should get those those full frame or even the crop sensor digital ones. You know, are still, what's yours, 24 meg, right? Isn't that right, Wes? Aren't they 24?
Yeah, 24.
Yeah, and the full frame is 32 or 36 now, right? it's a lot of information, you know. So, I guess if you save in the lowest compression, largest JPEG, so least compression JPEG, yeah. I mean, there's still a lot there, but yeah, it depends how many times, like you said, Dennis, how many times I guess you open it and edit it and save it and close it and that type of stuff, because every time you do it.
I think what I'll have to check is, because I know the new Sony, they used to always store on a compressed RAW file.
Okay.
Now you can save in 100% RAW. It's not uncompressed.
Oh, okay.
Apparently the file's huge.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense, but that makes sense on both ends, I guess. Yeah, the file would be huge, but also they can do it now because memory is so cheap. You can get a 128 gig SD card for $40.
Yeah, right. I think I'll have to check the camera's not got uncompressed RAW save.
Mm-hmm.
That could be why I'm getting such huge JPEGs.
It might be. Yeah, if you're doing an uncompressed RAW and it's making a JPEG from that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. That might very well be it.
Yeah, the only thing with saving in JPEG, of course, you're dumping 95% of the information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's quick. I mean, I've had my cameras set to do RAW and JPEG just if I wanted to do something really quick, and you just take the JPEG and send it somewhere. You know, I can read it and send it, or send it via Wi-Fi to the phone and share it or something like that.
Yeah, I tried that as well, Mark. I put the files on the web to send to the people who print the photographs.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 companies just said this file's too big.
I wonder if you're going from an uncompressed RAW to do it. I bet you that's what it is. There's probably some setting somewhere in the camera that you either mistakenly hit or didn't know about.
Yeah, but the only thing I've learned is that if I take pictures with a digital camera, then you've only got one path to go down. Mm-hmm. Whereas if I'd taken film, I could have just gone in the darkroom and printed the photographs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or scanned them and had them printed out.
Yeah, it's true. If it's digital to begin with, then you only can print it digitally. Yeah. Yep. Well, I wonder. Yeah, I guess you could. Could you print? I wonder if there's a way to print a negative. No, I don't think there would be. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Digital and turn it in, have a way to print it as a negative, and then take that negative into the darkroom.
Yeah. I did see one of the new chemical companies. They were supplying black and white reversal, so you can reverse your black and white film and make it a positive.
Ooh. That'd be interesting.
It was about £55 for a litre of this stuff.
So what would be the advantage of that? I'm just trying to...
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking, because you could just scan it and invert it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess if you were working just in the darkroom...
Yeah, some people... Oh, well, apparently, yeah, some people are serious, hardcore.
Yeah, they don't want to do any digital manipulation. They want to reverse it chemically and then print it that way. Yeah, that would be...
If you turn it into a positive, you can reject it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You just turn it into a positive and drop it. Yeah. Put it on your projector and off you go.
Yeah.
Slide. No, turn it into a slide, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a pretty steep price for that.
Yeah, that's one thing I've never done. I've never reversed a black and white film.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've done color because that's what E6 is. You know, first of all, you're the first developer's making it a negative.
Yeah.
Second developer's reversing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That seems yeah. I mean, for somebody who just wants to be pure and stay in the darkroom environment, I guess it makes sense. Rui posted, I just opened up, I had the YouTube open. Rui says I had to take Charlie for a walk. Maybe I'll join later. Posted 2 more videos on YouTube. Make sure to check them out. So we will do that.
Where's well, I remember I got to ask you, have you used up that last frame?
Oh, no.
He was hoping we could take it through the thing without being asked.
Yeah. It's sad because it's in my backpack and I have it with me every day.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You just haven't found the perfect opportunity to use it yet.
Yeah. Most of the time I forget it's there.
Yeah. Well, Dennis will keep reminding you about it. So
yeah, well, that's what you said, Mark. You know, ask the question. Where's it on? It's been 2 weeks.
Yep. Yep, and it's still there. So you probably can ask the question next week, and it'll be it's still in the backpack.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because the longer it stays in there, the more you don't even see it.
Yeah, the longer it stays in there, the greater the chance that it will continue to stay in there.
Right.
That's just the way it goes.
If you keep them too long, Wes, what happens is when you have them developed, you think, I don't even remember taking this.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a good thing that I forget what I took there.
Yeah. Now you've had that started that role what 6-8 months ago, right? Wasn't it over the winter?
I don't think it's been that long. Maybe 3 or 4 months.
Okay, 3 or 4 months. It just seems like forever because Dennis always asks about it.
Yeah.
I'm
It was around Memorial Day when I started.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the quality of what come out of that camera because you got it quite reasonable, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
You got a very good deal on that camera. Yeah, I'd be interested to see. Let's jump into the images here because we got actually a fair amount, which is nice. Simi's been posting a couple, and we'll start off. I think this was this was the last one from last week. Yeah, picture of his bike. Yeah, really. Here we go. This one. Lost right out of the show. I don't know what this is. It looks like maybe pilings for like a pier or something, or a pathway through the woods. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, maybe some old bridge or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They look like little cement blocks or something, like a walkway or a pathway, elevated.
Yeah,
Maybe this is like a marsh area or something. That's kind of cool. Yep, the light is cool on it. I wonder if he did. If he processed it like this to get this,
probably a little bit.
yeah, it's looking a little bit like Pat there, with that like a blown out type of scene there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's at 1/13th too, man. What's up?
Yeah,
You know.
Let's see how many groups.
Yeah, 115. All right, there he goes. Yeah,
Too
all
bad.
right.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right.
I've got to ask him how long it takes to put it in 115 groups.
Too long.
That's actually the bigger story, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it probably takes longer to put it into groups than it does to actually take the photo and process the photo.
I reckon he's got a secret bit of software what can put it in.
Yeah,
It probably takes longer to add it into groups than it did to wake up, get in the car, drive down there to actually make the shot.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably takes that long.
yeah. I think you're probably right.
I mean, it takes so long.
I mean, it takes me 10 minutes to put it into like 35 or 40 groups.
Yeah.
There's just no quick
Seriously.
way of doing it. Maybe he's discovered a secret way and he's just not letting on.
Yeah, which is perfectly fine because
Yeah.
I'm good. You know.
Yeah. I'm generally pretty happy with my 15 to at tops maybe 35 groups,
Yeah.
and it seems to be a higher number when it's filmed because I have so many groups that are just filming. You just click down all the way through and post them to those groups pretty fast. But yeah, this is kind of cool. So he took this August 6th, so 2 weeks ago. It's kind of cool. Forest stuff, and then here's Wes's road trip to downtown Blakely, Georgia.
Yeah, we got a hotel room in Blakely. It was nearby where a park some
Okay.
Indian mounds we wanted to visit were.
Okay.
So went downtown and got some Mexican food and
Okay.
just it was a nice time and
This is a neat.
walked around the downtown with my iPhone and shot some stuff.
It's a neat. That's a neat courthouse. I like that. That courthouse.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
what's it, copper roof, maybe. Yeah.
yeah, I think so. It was like
How big
1903.
is
I think,
Blakely?
at the
Is
time.
it a couple thousand people, maybe?
Maybe 2,000 at the most,
Okay.
maybe less.
All right.
It's pretty small.
Yeah.
It's mainly a farming community.
Yeah.
Nice clean shot.
Mm-hmm.
What camera is this?
So-
Oh, it's your iPhone.
iPhone and Snapseed.
Snapseed is the tool for
Yeah, don't even get me
iPhoneography.
started. Don't
Yeah,
even get me started.
This
It's
is
awesome. Yeah.
brought to you by Snapseed. Joe D, official spokesman.
That's all you need to say. It's awesome.
I love Snapseed.
Mhm.
It is.
Yeah, it does. It does really cool. Yeah, it does look like a small town. There we go. Oh, it's kind of cool. I like that.
Mhm.
With the
Mhm.
There was a little bank with they had some pedal cars out front. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that.
Blakely, Georgia. Yeah, it's neat old buildings. Yeah, I think we need to make a road trip down there. I think that looks like a cool place to visit. Like a long weekend and take a few days and go down there. Interesting. Neat. I was completely unaware of this place.
Yeah.
Now doesn't this look like your old backyard in Albuquerque, Joe?
Yeah, well, it definitely looks like something for the Four
sandstone and
Corners.
the rocks, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like this looks like outside of Farmington, basically.
Yeah, it looks like the Four Corners.
Bisty Badlands, that type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, because that white, rock right there could be, mistaken for gypsum.
Mhm.
And
Sandstone over here.
there's plenty of gypsum mined up there,
Yeah.
so it's.
And this is all due to how did they wear it down? Was it, you say, bad, poor farming practices? So what did they just have like water cannons and they just wore away the soil? Or man,
I don't know if it was necessarily water cannons, just the way they routed the way they made the fields or whatever.
Mhm.
The rain caused so much erosion to start.
that's crazy.
So it's a pretty hilly area to
Yeah.
begin with. So I guess if you don't do your fields just right, it
Yeah.
can be a problem.
Yeah, that's a pretty. I mean, that's tall. I mean, like you said, it's like 100 feet tall. I mean, that's just massive erosion.
Yeah, it's just 150 feet deep at the deepest point, I think.
So is this sandstone up here, or is this just clay?
It's all clay.
It's just clay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
That's why the road's away. Yeah.
even that white stuff there. It's all clay and sand, basically.
Mhm. So
Mhm.
very thin top layer of soil. So once they plowed down into that, then it just eroded. That's really cool. It's like it looks like something that it's not. I mean, it looks like sandstone and gypsum, and instead it's just clay and sand.
Yeah.
It's like a poser Southwest photo.
Right.
It is, yeah. I mean, it very easily could be.
This could be like, this could be in New Mexico, Utah, Four Corners area.
Mm-hmm. Northern Arizona.
Like, large format territory, Mark.
Yeah, this would be fantastic for large format. Yeah, that's very cool. And there's a lot of hiking trails. They have a lot of marked hiking trails through the area.
Yeah. Just they have trails that go all the way around the canyons where you can get some different views, and then they have you can go down in the canyons, and there's different paths all the way. It's basically like it's like a sort of a very damp riverbed. It looks like you're going to sink in, but it's really firm.
Okay.
So
Is it fairly dangerous though? I mean, is there always material falling?
I don't know. I don't think so.
And that happens up in all those famous areas as well that people like to go to in the Four Corners. That those rocks are always falling.
Yeah, you get a rainstorm, you get flash floods and rocks fall. Yeah, you have to be a lot of those canyons are real narrow, and you're walking through them, and if something falls, I mean, you're just
You're done.
It's not good. Yeah. No, this is cool. That's really cool. That just totally reminded me of southwestern U.S. Well, this is neat too. This is okay. So this is the 80D with the 17 to 50 millimeter. So does this have? Is it fairly not macro, but it looks like it's pretty good semi-macro kind of.
It lets you get
lens.
pretty close.
Yeah.
I like the way you got the Latin name up, Wes. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to research it.
Prunifolium.
It's a rare flower.
Okay.
It only blooms in a few counties in that part of Georgia.
Oh.
And it only blooms in July and August, which is rare for an azalea.
Yeah, most azaleas are done by mid-April.
Right.
Yeah.
So apparently, a lot of people who are into flowers go to the canyon because that's where the majority of them are.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
To see them.
That's neat. That's kind of a totally unique thing. That's neat. That's a nice shot too. And nice colors and this was at f8. Yep. Very nice. Yeah, it looks like a place worthwhile visiting. Yeah, okay.
Gives you a little more perspective on
Yeah, I mean, that's a decent sized cliff. Yeah. 50, 100 feet. Maybe this might be 75 feet tall here. Yeah. That's neat. And this was, okay, yeah, this is your wide angle. F11.
Yeah, that kind of makes it look smaller than it is,
Yeah.
just to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the sky's the sky's nice too. I like that. Do you have a polarizer on there?
The sky was nice. No, I didn't. I had it with me. I didn't even pull it out.
That's a really nice sky without a polarizer.
Yeah.
It's pretty dry. Well, we had last weekend was kind of, it was humid up here, but it looks like it was fairly dry down there, relatively speaking, because that sky's pretty clear.
Yeah, it was rain. It started to rain right as we were leaving, but it was fairly dry during the day.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, last week we were like Thursday, Friday were okay, and it started getting humid Saturday and Sunday up here. So I would imagine, yeah, it got down there later on the day on Sunday. Yeah, and then this week was just kind of brutal humidity.
Yeah,
Cool.
this is pretty good because you got a few things happening there. You got that sky with the clouds, and the colors are really nice and popping. To the right, you've got that which could have been blown out really easily. That white rock.
Yeah, right here, and there's still a lot of. You can see some shadow detail up here underneath the edge, and stuff.
And then the shadows right here on the left, which are obvious, are pretty detailed.
There's a shadow here.
Yeah, that ADD is pretty awesome when it comes to dynamic range.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a nice. Yeah.
As long as you keep the ISO down at the base of the ISO, if you crank it up, you start to lose dynamic range pretty quickly.
Okay. Yeah. But I think that's probably common with most. I mean, that's how they allow the low light. They have to reduce the dynamic range somewhere, I would guess. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just cranking up you're cranking it up, so you're losing the more you crank up, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. You lose the size of the range from light to dark. Yeah. No, that's neat. That's neat. Oh, this one this is cool. This is very neat.
Yeah, that's definitely a large format spot there.
Yeah, that is.
Right, you're right there. I was thinking, why haven't I got something like that locally to me?
Yeah.
How
See, this would be like going to the Southwest without going to the Southwest. I mean, there it is. I mean, that's nuts. Stewart, Georgia. So let's see where that is in the world in relation to Atlanta. I just want to see where this is. Okay.
how many images is this, Wes? Just one or?
I think it was about 12.
Okay.
But it's heavily overlapped. I probably could have got away with 4 or 5, but
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's not too bad.
yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, here we are up here. Yeah. That's completely doable.
You could come down through Columbus and hit that.
Yep.
Pretty easy.
Columbus has some good. It's got a nice little lively downtown area and some nice brew pubs and stuff.
Man, you got blessed with those clouds, my friend. Those clouds are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer the blue skies and clouds, but it was starting to rain, so I got a little bit
Yeah.
of drama there.
We actually have those clouds happening right now in Phoenix.
Yeah.
That's what's keeping the temp. I know 100 degrees sounds crazy, but that's what's keeping our temperatures down right now. It's kind of sprinkling off and on right now.
Yeah.
And I love when it's like that.
Yeah.
God,
See, these kind of clouds like this, I mean, it really brings out the colors.
Yeah.
In the rocks and the landscape. I mean, that's
just a natural diffuser, man. It's just
like boom. These colors here. I mean, that's stuff you wouldn't see as much with the blue sky.
Yeah.
Just like nature's softbox there.
Exactly.
Looks like a normal day in England to me.
Yeah. Dennis is like, blue sky, what's that?
Yeah,
what the hell's a blue sky?
Yeah, what's a blue sky? I have to process them in afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah. You have you say you have to fake it up like Simi does with his, put the No, this is neat. I think this is on our list of places to visit now. This is cool. It's like I can go to Canyonlands with only going to Columbus, Georgia. I'm good.
Hey man, because
it looks like Joe's having a beer.
Oh, and this is the last of my Victory at Sea.
That's neat. That's a neat shot. I like that.
What was that, Dennis?
How long does it take you to get there from where you live?
I'm about 4 hours from here.
Yeah, and seeing where it is on the map, I could probably get there in about 2.5 to 3, maybe 3 hours.
Yeah. That was 4 hours. Yeah. Well, 4 hours go across this country.
Yeah. It's about 3 hours for us on assuming we don't get stuck in traffic somewhere. But yeah, if we left at like 10 in the morning, we'd get down here at like 1 in the afternoon, something like that. Yeah. That's neat. That's a neat area. That's well worth visiting.
Boy, that'd be worth waking up in the middle of the night and taking a trip and watching sunrise happening right there, Mark.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I think what I would do is I'd just go down get on super early and then spend a couple days there. And,
if you did that, Joe, you'd probably bump into Simi.
You probably would, yeah. Sim's probably watching us taking notes and already planning the trip. Yeah.
Yeah,
and then it'd be just a matter of competition. Who's going to do the longest exposure down there?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
No,
guys,
you'll see two guys just sitting there with their finger on the button, man.
Oh, can't release the shutter yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 320th and only 7 groups was. Come on, I think you can.
I mean,
crank it up.
Really? Really?
Who has the time?
Really?
Yeah,
I know.
I need to hire a Simi.
Even that 7 groups.
I'll pay you $20.
That's even effort, isn't it?
Yeah.
7 groups is still like it's.
Yeah. That's a neat. I like that. I think that's a good place to visit. All right. Speaking of Simi, we got. Well, he's jipping us out. He's doing this 1/13th of a second, 1/6
Holy
of a
Moses! 72,000 views, man.
Yeah. 600
on that one.
waves. That's just not right.
And 1/6 of a second, 127
Now,
groups.
let's see how many groups. 127. Yeah.
That's the secret number.
Yeah.
127.
Wow, look at that. 642,000
views.
God.
Yeah. It must have been on the Found or whatever. Yeah. That's cool. It's, he deserves every one of those he gets because he puts in the effort. That's for sure.
He puts in the effort all the way around, my friend.
Yeah, getting up
All
early,
the
getting
way
to these
around.
spots, scouting them out, photographing it, processing it, and then that's just the easy part. The hard part's putting all the groups in.
The hard part's adding all the groups and everything, man. The effort is on every single level of this thing right here, man.
Yeah, that sky just seems to be another typical English summer day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he says Stratford too. I mean, it's Stratford on Avon, right? Isn't that the home of Shakespeare, right?
Yep. Yeah,
although I don't think Shakespeare had a power plant, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close, exactly. Yeah.
That's neat. The colors on this are fantastic. The golden, orange, and the water.
Yeah. What time did he do this one?
Oh, let's see. We could guess, right? I mean,
sunrise. I'm sure he's got insomnia.
It looks kind of
date time modified, date and time captured.
It looks kind of
9:28. So this is 7:30 in the morning. Maybe, yeah. Can't be at night. Yeah.
1928.
1928. Yes.
Yeah. 7:28 at night.
Yeah.
Okay, he's in the far. That's like the far eastern part of the. Okay, that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
7:30 at night. Yeah.
He's either got there early to do the morning shot, or he's been out all day.
Yeah. No, that's neat. That's nice.
He shoots in the morning, and then all day long he submits to groups, and then
he goes back
out
in.
and does sunset.
Yeah. Took you 4 hours to do your photo. It took him 8 hours to put me in the group.
If we could do a documentary on him adding those things to all those groups.
You have to do it like a time lapse. So it'd be like, it would still be 10 minutes.
It'd still be a 15-minute YouTube video on him. It's sped up. Yeah.
This actually took 3.5 hours, but we compressed it down to 15 minutes.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. He could hire an assistant and pay them good money just to add those groups in there.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Maybe that's what he does. Yeah, he does. He does a very good job.
Yeah, he does.
Very good eye. Yep.
Oh, that's so funny.
Okay, Dennis. So this was only 11 groups. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the Bronica with the Ektar 100. Now this is an interesting color. It's almost like a
Where's that red coming from?
This was sunset time.
It's like a blood red. It's a blood red.
Yeah.
It's like the zombie apocalypse pure here. I got that.
Yeah, that wasn't natural.
Are some of the boards red or something to make it reflect that?
No, this is a special place. This is where the shopping trolleys go to die.
It's all the red paint, huh?
Yeah, this is a jetty they built on the island there, going right out into deep water anchorages. But they spent millions of pounds building this, and then they never ever built the refinery. It was never used.
Oh wow! So this was a basically for the rail to go out.
Yeah, this was like the big pipelines going out.
Okay.
And, they just go to nowhere. Just stop at the field. Yeah.
Okay, so you got all these storage tanks and stuff out here.
Yeah, that's not actually on this island. That's another island further up the Thames estuary.
Okay. So this was So this was Bronica. What was what lens did you have on this? What was this?
This was the 82.8, the standard lens. What comes with the camera.
Okay.
Is that shopping carts in the water?
Yeah. That's where the shopping trolleys go to die. Yeah, you'd never guess there's a supermarket quite nearby.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Where would you get that from? Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting color. Is that just the sun reflecting off the water and the?
Yeah. This is. I was quite impressed with the way the colors come out because.
Was that pretty close to what you actually saw with the eye?
Yeah, this was the Ektar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know Ektar's oversaturated, but I thought that's real weird. Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's very, very unusual.
Yeah, you should submit this to like some urban street photography type stuff because this has definitely got that.
Yeah, because it looks like a filter. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, this was I just put the camera on the wall.
Okay.
Flick the mirror up so they get a shake.
Yeah. Yes. Sometimes natural filters happen. Yeah.
Yep. That's exactly right. So is this the other end of the pier, looking back?
Yeah, this is the other end. This is turning 180 degrees.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's where it stops.
Oh, okay. So it's supposed to continue off in the distance, and they just stopped it.
Yeah, there should have been an oil. There should have been an oil refinery built on the land behind it.
Oh, okay. So I wonder. I wonder if the company, like the oil company or whatever, was going to do it, and then they just no, we're scrapping the project, so stop building.
I think it was Occidental, the company.
Okay.
Yeah, who built the line, but I think there was like massive government inquiries about building on the. They found some probably newt that lives there, so it's protected, and they just couldn't build.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this is like literally turning around, so the sunlight was no water to reflect off of, basically. Yeah. Huh. Okay.
See, this was a surprise after processing the first film and scanning it. What Tim had given me, the colours were rubbish, but I thought the chemicals were off, but this was pretty good. I mean, the green's not too bad. Yeah, the sky's okay.
Yep. No, the sky came out pretty good, and the colors on the pipe are cool.
I think the chemicals are okay. It's just these cheap old film he gave me.
Yeah, these whites here, these flowers look pretty. I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah, you can definitely tell it's film, but it looks good. Yeah. Yeah,
it's 6x6 now, so there should be a bit of detail in there. But what I'll do, Mark, is when I next in the dark room, I'll print one up on paper and see what it looks like.
That'd be interesting. There you go. Harley Fatpo. So this is your buddy that came down with his. Yeah,
this is his pride and joy. He's got his own room in his house, and that only goes out when it's not raining.
Okay. That always cracks me up to see a motorcycle in someone's house. I swear.
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
I went around his house, and he's got this in a room. on the stand, and the room's carpeted.
Oh my God.
He just wheels it in. Yeah.
Oh my God. That cracks me up, man.
Yeah.
It does. That makes me laugh.
But he probably doesn't have a garage, right? So he has to park the car outside, but he doesn't want the motorcycle to be outside.
No, he's got a garage, yeah.
Okay.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen people with motorcycles in their house, and it just makes you like, what?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, that's not a piano. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's more important than the piano.
He's one of these guys who he stopped outside a supermarket and he lost his balance with the bike,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like trying to save it, but as it went over, it was very gently on the ground. It hit the ground, but it was gentle.
Uh-huh.
Right? And he checked it, and there was a scratch on one of the footrests, and one of the mirrors
Mm-hmm.
had a scratch on the chrome work.
Mm-hmm.
He just went out and bought new footrests and a new mirror.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't have it be tarnished.
That's
It's gotta be,
pretty good though, especially for not having the bars on the side of it too. You know.
Mhm. Yeah, the tip, the roll bar.
Yeah.
Basically, because a lot of times, yeah, you'll see it. They got that. That's a nice bike. I don't know what year it is, but yeah, I could see riding that. That's a nice one.
Yeah. The only thing I found, this is a digital photograph, was I have to like tune down the highlights. The chrome,
just like this spot here. Yeah.
yeah, because it's digital.
Mhm.
It seems every photograph I've got to tone down the highlights.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
taken with the Sony.
You get very used to that.
Yeah.
It was very sunny day, as you can see.
Yeah. It was almost like midday.
Yeah,
Now this one, I really like. I like this shot. This is nice.
the other job I had there was not getting myself in a photograph because there's so much chrome on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, this is nice. I like this one. There's yeah, it's a nice bike.
Yeah, the other photograph, the first one, tons of sun stars all over it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one is well lit, but yeah, there's a little bit up here. That's probably where you are. There you are. Is that you right there? It is.
Could be. I tried not to get myself in there.
Where's Waldo? We gotta find him.
Hey, Waldo.
Either in there or right there, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough not to get yourself in a photo.
Yeah, I decided it was a terrible place to take a picture of this bike because the chrome work was like getting lost in the bushes.
Mm-hmm.
But I had 3 vehicles on the driveway, so if we moved it, all I was getting was bits of cars.
Oh, okay.
So it was a bit awkward. Next time we'll go somewhere nice.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice bike. I like that shot. And then this is okay. Yep.
Right, this one was taken.
Perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, this one I took with the 15mm Voigtlander.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why you've got the exaggerated front wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look at that sharp though. You can read everything on the rim and
Yeah.
tire. That's an interesting perspective on that. I like that one now. Looking at it again. Yeah, that's a neat one. And then you got one with the Bronica. Did you take one?
Yeah, the Bronica's later on.
Okay.
I developed the film a couple of days later.
Okay.
Oh, this is cool. This would be
Yeah.
so cool in black and white right here.
Yeah, oh, you're going to see that one next, I think.
Wait a minute. I was gonna ask what you guys prefer.
I love the text on the rock. It's just cool. And this little tree on the top that's neat. That's pretty sharp. That's a nice.
I just took that one little spot out west. That one right.
Yeah, I took several out, and I guess I missed that one little tiny one there.
Yeah, a couple little ones, but it's still.
Are they hot spots? Are they?
It's just flares.
Yeah, little flares that'll.
This here,
pop up from
yeah.
from the lens, but yeah, because it looks cool. I like the star. You know, the way the star
Mhm.
comes off
Yeah.
there, and
Yeah.
that one little
Yeah, I stood behind there to get out of the sun for a minute, but then I was like, "Oh, this is kind of neat. Let me take a picture of this."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that because I like the way that sun flares in there.
Yeah, and I like the perspective too. You kind of tilted it a little bit. Yeah, that's neat. So there's color, and there's the black and white.
Oh,
guess Joe likes this one.
I'm so into black and white.
This is more Ansel Adamsley.
Yeah. I'll vote for the black and white myself.
Yeah. The thing for me on this image is the texture, and the black and white brings it out a little bit more. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I would have went with a slightly different black and white, but it's still so cool.
I did this at work in Apple Photos, so it's
not right.
It's not really done right.
Yeah. Gotcha.
There you go.
Go back. You still get the idea.
Yeah.
Still get the idea. So it's cool, man.
Yeah, that's a neat shot. I like that.
That's a good one for your phone right there. Just a good background photo. For
it
would
be. Yeah.
It's the right perspective and orientation. Yeah.
Yeah. Each one of them is that you could switch it up. You could put the black and white one week, and you could put the color another week.
That's neat.
I mean, that black sky you got there, Wes, it's like infrared, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I put like a red filter or yellow orange filter or something in the Apple Photos.
Yeah, darken that up really fast. Yeah, because that's pretty blue. Yeah, you filter that out and it's gone. That's neat. Very cool. Okay, so here's the Ektar. Put the little vignette on it. Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah, I was just trying to lose some of the trees, and it's a lot softer in film. The digital just seems to be so clinical.
No, this is I mean, the edges, the details. I mean, it's still sharp, but it's just backed off a couple of notches.
Yeah. It looks like a film photograph.
Yes, it does. Yep.
Yeah, it's aged. Yeah.
Yep. That's cool. Yeah, Ektar's a good film. Okay, so here are my two test images. So this one is a full telephoto on this lens, which is 300 millimeter equivalent.
Okay.
Looking through the filter. So the filter gives this a little bit of a bluish, pink kind of color to it. So that's 300 millimeter. So when I saw that, I'm like, well, if I take my 40 millimeter equivalent large format, the sun's going to be like this speck. It's going to be teeny tiny. So that's when I decided I just wasn't going to mess with it. I'll just take the digital camera. But so it came out pretty good. I got the focus dialed in. That was the main thing I was trying to do, is make sure I knew where the best focus was. So then I was able to mark that on the lens. And then what I did was I took the same image and I cropped it by at least probably 50 or 60%.
Oh, okay.
Get it down. And what you can see here is these little spots here. These are sunspots.
Cool.
So these are actual sunspots. So, I mean, I think that's cool. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to try to, because I'm just going to be photographing the progression. The main ones are going to be the progression of the eclipse. So I'll probably photograph them and crop them, because there's going to be sunspots and that kind of stuff coming off of them.
Do you have a gray card, Mark? Are you gonna correct the color on this?
Oh yeah, I can correct the color. That's pretty easy. Yeah. I could make it look like the sun, but this is actually, when you filter out, it's actually the sunlight itself before it hits our atmosphere is almost more of like a bluish white. So I could change it. Yeah, I played around with the color in Lightroom, and I can make it orange really easy. Make it look like what the sun looks like very, very quickly. So, but the main thing was just to get get what infinity, focus of infinity was, and then to make sure I got the metering correct. So I just had to do the spot metering, and I metered it, essentially in the middle of the sun. And did that.
If you inverted this,
Mm-hmm.
and then put a slightly smaller version over the top, then you'd have your fully clipped. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I could fake it up. I could fake it up. That's for sure. Yeah, this was so it was f8 at ISO 200 and a 3/20th of a second. So that's somewhere in that range. 250 to 500 will get me what I need to get, and I can adjust the exposure one way or the other because it's just going to be the sun and against the background. It's not going to be anything. It's going to be more just about the shadow or the stuff moving across the sun. So it's be interesting. But yeah, I was like, hey, look at that. There's a sunspot.
This was using the filter, was it, Mark?
Yeah, this was the solar filter.
Yeah. He used the filter for sure. He wouldn't have a camera to speak of right now.
Yeah, they burned out the sensor at this point.
Yeah, you could just show us this big metal plastic thing.
Mm-hmm. There's gonna be a lot of that tomorrow. I'm convinced. There's just gonna be people that they're gonna have their glasses on and they're gonna put their glasses on. Oh, there's the sun, and they're gonna hold their phone up to view it, to photograph it, and they're not gonna have a filter on their phone, and it's gonna fry the sensor.
Yeah, well, what's going to happen is they're going to set it all up, right? Tripod, the whole nine. They're going to set it all up. Okay, that's going to be the shot, and they're going to leave it like that until they get the whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to fry it, because they're going to, if they did it for a few seconds, they'd probably be all right. But they're gonna aim it there, screw everything down nice and tight so it doesn't move. And it stays right there on that darn sun the whole time, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be, and it's gonna be going through a lens that's magnifying, telephoto. I mean, it's just gonna be.
I don't even let my gear in direct sunlight for more than a few minutes, let alone aim directly at the sun. For Christ's
on the surface of the sun,
because that's a whole nother issue. Because having your equipment in direct sunlight will overheat your equipment, and you're not shooting anyway. So that's a whole nother issue.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna take a real light colored shirt, real light color fabric, and just drape it over the top of the camera. Because I am going to have it set up, but I'm going to keep it covered up so it doesn't get too hot.
Yeah, or just an umbrella,
Yeah. So that's what it looks like. So I'll be able to, when I get the shots, and I'll be able to correct the color and get it more orange or whatever. But this is just kind of like what it looks like coming, through the filter, captured like that. Now the glasses we have show the sun is more orange, so the filter kind of biases more towards. I think this is probably closer to what the actual color is on the surface of the sun, but I'll be able to adjust the color really easily in Lightroom. That won't be hard at all. So, and then we have sunrise. So we're moving. The sun's coming up a little later every day, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yep,
so definitely. We're getting farther down the road. We're moving a little farther east every time now.
Every time, yeah. Closer and closer to Phoenix.
Yep. So, it seems like a couple weeks ago this mountain was over here, and now it's getting over to this side. So we're moving down the road a little bit.
Yeah, it's always on the same side, but it's on the north side of the interstate. But it's just getting, those mountains get bigger. That's what.
Yep, you're getting closer.
Yeah.
Seems the nuclear testing is being toned down now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, I like this one. This is cool.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a very nice one with the clouds and the sunburst coming through there.
Yeah, that was yesterday, and which explains the rain today, or the kind of sprinkles rather.
Okay. This was yesterday morning.
Yeah, with that that sun flaring happening. Yeah.
What'd you do with that then, Joe? You done anything to it?
Well, no. I always process with images like this particular, the previous one. I'll just process with the iPhone Apple Photos app, just the plain app, But with this one, I'll actually take it into Snapseed and process it there. I typically do, your typical adjustments like we would always do. Of course, I immediately go to highlights and I take those suckers out.
Yeah.
Highlights are no good to me.
Bad highlights.
Yeah.
Bad highlights. Highlights bad.
Yeah.
I don't take them all the way out, but I take them considerably down. Yeah.
That's the downfall of digital cameras, as far as I can see.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so I kind of mess with that a little bit, and then I'll put a little vignetting. Not, I don't want too much, but just a little bit to kind of draw your attention a little bit more towards that ray of light, and then kind of brighten things up, add a little ambiance to it, kind of. Because everything will kind of make it darker again, so I'll kind of have to re-brighten that up, and that's about it, really.
Yeah, that's a nice one with the clouds and the sunburst there.
I mostly take them into Snapfield to kind of clean it up. Sometimes I'll have like bugs from the windshield on there, so that's not as attractive.
Nothing like a grasshopper right in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Some big, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Windshield kill on there. Yeah. Now see, like something like this, I just use the Photos app. You know what I'm saying? I just go in there because it's basically there's nothing to really adjust except for the highlights. The highlights are always taken out. Always. I mean, always. I mean, that's an automatic. It's the first damn thing. Highlights out, a little more saturation added. I'll adjust my black point a little bit. I can already tell you what I do in the Photos app for sure. It's it highlights, and the black point is adjusted in the Photos app, and then a little saturation, and the what do they call it in the Photos app? The temperature is I forget what they call it in the Photos app, but it's that that third one in that color adjustment in the Photos app. It's that third one. But yeah, a little of those four, and that's about it for something like this with no clouds or anything. It's just kind of basic.
There we go. This is
that's a nuclear blast there.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. Boom. Yeah, exactly.
That's that North Korea again.
Yeah. That's what it will look like. Exactly, right there. Us against North Korea. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. But
which is kind of funny because this is taken within view sight of the nuclear power plant, so it's kind of hilarious. Yeah.
I just wonder if North Korea ever uses any of their weapons. What the retaliation, what the Chinese are going to do, it's right on their doorstep, isn't it?
At the angle that I take this image to my north, that I have to take it pointed to my north, if I did that same angle to the south, you'd see the power plant.
Oh, okay, so power plant's like over here.
Yeah, exactly. It's the nuclear power plant's right there. It's literally right there.
So if you put one of these on one day and there's 2 or 3 of these across the screen, I know we're in trouble, yeah?
Yeah. If there were 2 or 3 across the screen, that would have been Joe's last post.
Yeah, we're probably not having this conversation,
Connect. At least they'll get up to the web.
There's some mornings when I wish I could capture it because you'll have these pretty cool cloudy mornings, and the way the sunrise comes up and gives that nice kind of really deep orange hue, and then with the lights that come off the power plant already, and then they have these 3 huge four huge stacks that come out of the plant, and I don't know what particular days they do it. I haven't quite figured that out, but if it happens to be one of those days when they're just spewing smoke out of those stacks, it looks like nuclear war. It does. It looks like it just is the coolest thing ever. I wish I could capture it. And I've tried a million times with my phone, and it doesn't.
Yeah, it's all that steam coming out of the cooling towers.
It's so exaggerated naturally. Well, just like Dennis's photo with that red, and it except this is this weird kind of, well, it's that kind of yellowish orangish hue that's coming off of that top layer.
Yeah.
Right there, exactly. And the whole sky and the cloud, it's just so cool. And
you don't carry a film camera, do you, Joe?
Oh no.
No, you see, now Wes does, because he knows that when that electromagnetic pulse comes, the camera's not going to work.
That's what he's saving that last frame for.
Yeah, he's saving the last frame. Yeah.
Yep. That last frame is for that. Yeah.
I'm going to get it.
Yeah, he got it now. That might be it.
Yeah, the last frame, literally.
That's the last frame of mankind.
Yeah.
That's it. It'll never get processed. It'll just be in the camera. No one will know. Yeah.
Or maybe some alien race will find it at some point.
Yeah, at some point. Yeah.
This is cool. I like the two trucks on the road ahead of you. That's kind of cool. That's
one of those deals where I'm just trying to time it. There's so many trucks. I could only go 62 miles an hour, and there's so many trucks passing me, and I can only. That's just showing like I really sometimes just don't have time to get them out of my.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not enough time for them to get out of frame and you to be able to get what you want to get. Yeah, so you're like, okay.
Is your truck restricted then, Joe?
I'm sorry.
Is it restricted to 62 mile an hour?
Oh yeah. Most big trucks are governed to something. I mean, it's, ours are at 62, but some are much higher, but they're still governed at something. Most are, not all, but most are.
Yeah.
Some might go 75 or 72 or 71 or 65.
Now, is the speed limit most of the time here? Is it 70 along here?
75.
75. Yeah. You're going
Yeah. This is the West. Yeah. Once you get out here, all these states are 75.
Yeah. 75. Yeah. That's and you're going 62, going putting along relatively, because cars are probably passing you going 80 to 85 all the time, I would think.
Right. Yeah. There's some cars that'll pass me going so fast. You even feel, the wind drawing you over a little bit. They pass you going so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them really, you can even hear them coming. I mean, they're just hauling. A lot of times it's one of the highway patrolmen. One of the state troopers. But when those guys pass you, man, those state troopers especially. I mean, and it draws the big truck over. You know what I'm saying? An 80,000-pound truck. It draws me over, so that's how fast they'll go by you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Joe, the guy who owns the Harley, he used to have an Italian bike, and he drove it at 200 mile an hour.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and I just said to him, "What's it like at 200 mile an hour?" And he goes, "Everything is just a blur."
Yeah.
Including him, if anything happens,
he's just going to be a grease spot on the road.
I don't even think grease happens at that point. You just vaporize, right? I mean, every once in a while I'll see a bike go by me pretty darn fast. Not very often though.
Yeah.
But bikes scare me, tell you the truth, because bikes, unless you see them on the big cruisers, the big gold wings or the big Harleys, where they have a cruise control set, Otherwise, bikes like your friends or something like that, they always terrify me, man. Motorcycles terrify me because your natural reaction when you're on a bike, you're using your hand to control that, and so you're just constantly up, down, up, down, up, down. You can't help it. It's just natural, and so motorcycles are constantly speeding up, slowing down, speeding up, slowing down, speeding up, slowing down. And it's it just drives you nuts in a truck.
Because they can speed up and slow down so much faster than you can, so they don't realize that the ability for you to adjust if they do something quick is not the same.
Yeah, he said riding that Harley is a nightmare. He goes, you go more than 60 miles an hour, you're going to die.
Yeah, he's sitting like that, just wide, full open to the wind. Yeah.
And some of these cats are, they're putting their foot pegs out there wider and wider, like we talked about earlier, those roll bar type things, and those roll bar things come out, and these guys are putting these foot pegs on the ends of them, and so it's like they're doing the splits out there. And I get it, when you're riding, you know what I'm saying, and you got your legs way out like that, it's totally relaxing. And what guy don't like to have the air hitting his nuts a little bit? You know what I'm saying? And let's be frank. and, I mean that's what's happening. I mean, come on. But the problem is they're so spread out when they're riding like that, and then they're still riding crazy like they do on a bike. They're literally in this position that I'm exaggerating right now. They're in this position with their legs out as far as my arms.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's to me it's terrifying, man. I'm like, man, you're gonna clip your foot on one of these cars.
You just don't have any. You don't have near as much control as you think you do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a guy that I see, and he's got to be a ball player or somebody, because he's so tall. He's a big man. He's got to be, I don't know, 6'8", 6'9". You know what I'm saying? But I've been seeing him lately now that football season's in. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of guessed that he's maybe a ball player, but I can't tell because he's wearing a helmet and stuff. But I mean, he just drives in and out of that traffic in the morning, and he's one of those guys, like I said, and he's so tall already, and his feet are just so far out there, and I'm like, you could tell the bike is specially made, and there's a lot of custom bike builders here.
Man, the problem is when your feet are on this pegs way out, you got to put your foot down to shift and rear brake, and by the time you react to do that, it's going to be too late.
Yeah, it's just if you could see it, man, you're like, that's just madness, man. But in any case, it's
Joe, do you watch Top Gear?
No, you know what? I've never liked Top Gear, and I really love cars too, and I just can't get into Top Gear. I've never really liked it.
They done a test. If you drive your vehicle over 200 miles an hour, the speed cameras don't work.
Oh, because you're going too fast for them.
Yeah, they said it doesn't record your number plates. Yeah,
that's hilarious. Well, I told you what they were doing in Albuquerque, right? When they first put those things in Albuquerque in the city, there were some cats that wised up to those cameras, and they were literally pulling up to the back sides of them, taking the deal off, and then it was an SLR in there, and they were just taking them out.
Okay.
They would steal them. They would steal them.
Yeah. What they were doing over here, Joe, is they were getting a truck tire and hanging it on top of the camera, and then they filled the truck tire up with gas and set fire to it.
Oh wow, yeah, that does it too.
Yeah. That must be the people who got nicked for speeding.
I guess they never figured that anybody would even dare. And man, people will. I mean, there's a lot of people in New Mexico that'll steal anything. You know what I'm saying? And they did not figure that some idiot would be bold enough to just go up to the darn thing, open it up,
camera out of the box.
Camera. Yeah. Well, they underestimated that
one. Yeah.
They were going to the electricity supplies and pulling the fuses will operate the cameras, because now the boxes have got locks on them.
Oh, so now they're going upstream to find ways to disable. Speaking of disabling, we're going to have to disable this week's show.
Oh, there he goes. There he is. All right. Look at that.
Yeah. So we'll see if we get any actual good weather for the eclipse tomorrow. Got my fingers crossed. So hopefully I'll have some images of that to share.
Have you checked your weather forecast?
The latest weather forecast is typical late summer weather, partial, mixed clouds and sun. You know, so no specific chance of rain. Yeah, maybe like 20%. You know, going to pop up.
What time frame are you looking at for
the eclipse starts here about 1 o'clock Eastern. I mean, when the moon starts encroaching on the sun.
Gotcha.
Total is going to be about 2:30.
Okay.
2:30 Eastern.
Okay.
And then it'll finish up about 4. So you got like that like a 3-hour window when the moon is like interacting with the sun one way or the other.
So I might be able to. I think it's, I don't know what, 60% or something down in this area.
Well, it'll come for you. It'll be probably like 11 in the morning your time, something like that. Yeah,
I'll be able to kind of hit, but I'm like I said, it's, I don't know, what is it, 70%?
You'll see something. Yeah, I mean, you'll see the more than half the sun covered. I'm sure it's probably gonna be like 75% for you.
I hate to be a buzzkill, but I am totally not into this thing. I couldn't be any less into it. But I mean, if I'm already out, I'll be one of those people that's already outside, and they'll say, you know, I'll be one of the 100 million people or whatever that they say, you know, viewed it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, because I was outside and I went like that.
You know you've seen a full eclipse, haven't you, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it wasn't that many years ago that. You know, I know they keep saying that, well, this particular, you know, that's one of those, you know, okay, but technically this and that type things. I mean, to me, you know, an eclipse is an eclipse is an eclipse, man. I don't know. Something gets covered up. Something that provided light gets covered up, you know. Yeah. So that's all I know. But it just seems like you just hear about them all the time.
Yeah, there are a lot that happen, but I guess there's not that many that are total. But it's just still be cool. So we'll hopefully we're going to see it. And Pam said, well, if it's cloudy, it's still going to get dark, even if it's cloudy, because we might not be able to see it, but it's going to get dark anyway.
It's going to get dark. It's going to be like, what do you call it, Greenland or Iceland or whatever.
Yeah, it's going to be like dark. Yeah, and it's going to happen really fast for the people that are like in the middle of the path. I mean, it literally goes from light to dark and like you know, like that, because the shadow of the moon crosses you so fast. So yeah. So worst case, at least we might not see it, but at least it'll get dark in the middle of the day. So that's, you know, if I can be eating like a turkey leg and drinking a Bud Light, you know, I'll be fine.
Yeah, it's like when a really dark storm cloud just all of a sudden covers the sun in your direct area, and you just see that like shadow come over everything. You're like, what the hell happened out there? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that. You know, you know, you know. We
will see. Hopefully, I'll be able to give firsthand experience of what it was really like. And if not, then at least I got to drive up into the mountains. So we'll see. All right, guys. Thank you as always. Appreciate it, Dennis. Another week of Sundays to you. Enjoy it.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. Take care, Wes.
Maybe Mark. Maybe you can. I'm sure there'll be someone around you that'll be videoing it. Maybe they can share their link with you so you can. If they're catching you on camera.
I'm going to talk to some people up there and see. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people up there with all kinds of much better equipment than I have.
Right.
You know, I'm sure it'll be that. So yeah, I plan on trying to share some business cards, that type of stuff, and see. Yeah, because there's going to be so much of it. It's going to be people that are much better at photography than me or most people are going to have some fantastic images of it. So I'm just going to do what I can get. If I can get some good shots, great. But the main thing is if it's sunny enough to, you know, clear enough to actually see it, I'm just going to want to kind of take it in and see what it's all about, and then I won't have to do it again.
Well, I'm excited for you for sure, man. I'm going to see what you get. You know what I'm saying? So
hopefully get some shots. I think if the weather cooperates, I should get some. So that's what I'm looking for.
That's hilarious that it all comes down to the weather.
It does. Yeah, I mean, there could be a cloud that just like pops up, and we're like,
that's it. You're like, are you kidding me?
Give me another beer. I can't see anything.
Oh yes. Okay. Now, what is your beer? I
don't know. Whatever they're selling up there, it's probably going to be like Bud Light. I mean, no one knows. It's North Georgia mountains. It's like somebody said it's going to be Redneck Central up there. So, you know, it's going to be Bud Light. Whatever they're selling. So, I'm sure it'll be Bud Light or Bud. Maybe they'll get some Sweetwater up there too. You might get some like Sweetwater 420 or something up there. Yeah. So that's I've got some cash out, so we'll be able to pay cash for our stuff and hopefully enjoy a beer, eat a hot dog or a brat or a turkey leg or something, and watch the eclipse.
Oh, that ought to be food truck city, huh?
Oh yeah. They're gonna have. I'm sure they're gonna have all kinds of vendors and stuff. So yeah, I'm sure it'll be. They're gonna have a band. They're gonna have the big video monitors where they're gonna monitor the feed from NASA, so you can see it kind of moving across the country as it's coming.
I know over here there'd have to be a million taco trucks out there. I mean, if you own a taco truck and you're not out there somewhere, you're an idiot.
Yeah. It's like the whole point of getting a taco truck.
Yeah.
It's the eclipse, damn it. Get your taco truck out there.
Exactly, man. Yeah, there's a lot of people over there. Hello, they're kind of parked there. Take your food truck over there, All
right, guys. Everybody have a great week.
All right, man.
You later. All right, take care.
Cheers.
Bye. Yep.